Indeed. So I love the Vengeance vibe and your incredible tension and release with the magnificent melodic parts. So how hard or easy is it for you guys to, incorporate all of these elements into a hardcore metal song?
Yeah, it's the dynamics is the idea for us. Is dynamics, and with my other band, it's like kind of like almost no melody, no harmony, harmony a little bit, but no melody, like no fucking melody.
Yeah,
and Vengeance has always had some of that aspect, even before Marcus joined the band.
Mm-hmm.
So our first 2 CDs was without him, and it was just like a 3-piece.
Yeah,
excuse me. The first CD is 3-piece, so I play guitar and sung.
Yeah.
And then the second CD, we had a different guitar player for a while. This dude, Luke, we call Lucifer, like Lucifer. He was a crazy fucker. Dude, he was a good fucking time. This dude,
I call him Drucifer. His name is Andrew.
Yeah. He's one of those guys. Yeah. And, but yeah, when Marcus got in the band, he had all that background of playing like all the Metallica catalog, and like, he knew how to play Joe Satriani songs and like a lot of melody and like really good harmonies. And he knew like all the scales, and he was technically very proficient, and his mother was a piano player and professionally, and so he knew how to write a song, and like he adjusted his style into our style quite well.
Yeah.
And eventually started to become a major song contributor, more for the music than the lyrics. He kind of let me do the lyrics, but he has written some of the songs with the lyrics too, plenty. But we would get to where he would have it, and then when I would write a song, or when I write a song, and we are actually writing some songs right now, really slowly, but we're writing some stuff. I kind of think of it as like I bake a cake, but Marcus puts the icing and the decorations and all the cool shit. Happy birthday, and so I don't solo very well. I'm like a solo guy, I write riffs. I can write some cool riffs. I can structure a song. But man, I'll have him do that second part, that harmony, the lead, the take it to that next level, and that's what's really cool about that band is like, the guys are talented, and you're able to do that, which is they all bring something to that original song. It's kind of amazing if you listen to some of my demos that were used on, say, like the last record we did. They're so raw and like pretty poorly recorded and stuff like that, of me playing guitar. And then what it becomes when it's polished is so far from that.
Wow.
Where it's like, it's almost unrecognizable. But I know in my head when I write it, what I think it's supposed to sound like with everybody, but I can't do that.
Gotcha.
I guess I could, but I don't really do the drum machines and I'm not a Pro Tools guy or whatever, So like, it's more of me like conceptually telling them, this is my idea. This is, and they run with it. And there's been some cool stuff created from that.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Dang, man. And I thank him for the 2 songs that he has on the Fight album, My Struggle Between Heaven and Hell with Lies. I love both of those songs so much, man. And Dank is just, he's that guy, man. Love him, man. Love him. Marcus.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude. So let me say this. I could not wait to hear As It All Sours every single night.
The song itself, the title track.
The title track.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, and I know I've said it before, it's one of the greatest songs to me I've ever heard. It was the song that really spoke to me on tour more than any other, because it had all those different elements in it that I love. Because here I am, I know about metal music, I've listened to metal music, I know, but now I'm immersed in all of this harder metal music with Ectomorph and with Vengeance and with Tenside, and with, it was different for me, with Vendetta. It was different. So now I'm really, you guys don't know how much I was paying attention. I was listening, because I was just like, okay, now I get it. It's just not a whole lot of screaming and yelling and of what I couldn't understand. And I thank you for that, because every time that As It All Sours came on, man, listen, to me, it's one of the most hypnotic things to me. It's a super drug. I still play that song all the time. It's on my phone. I play it all the time. I'm talking about it a lot, but I just want you to know how much I love that song. So what was the genesis of that song?
That song is well, it's funny because the new shirt I was showing you, like the back, that when nature attack is on the attack, is a lyric from that song, right?
Yeah.
Which we pressed the new merch with that because it fits the theme. But the song hits hard, dude. Like the song is kind of about a tsunami coming and getting us from our man-made mistakes, essentially. And it's a song about, like there's some reference there, like, is God gonna come save us or not? Kind of a reference, and run, but the water's faster.
Right.
Seek the path ahead.
Yeah.
So the idea is like you're running as it's coming, and you got a short amount of time to get the fuck out of there, And it's a lot of like Mother Nature striking back from the sins of man.
It says prophetic. The ice caps are melting. Prepare yourself for the sea. Listen, the last sunset. Come on, man. I'm telling you, I got chills.
Yeah.
Every time I hear everything in that song, I'm just like, I'm there and I'm just looking at it. And I'm just like, it's so descriptive to me, and I'm just like, God, dog, man. And then when you look at everything now, you're just like, wow.
This is the weird thing now with that, is like, it almost feels, and I'm not saying I'm a prophet or anything like that.
Prophetic, man, yeah.
But there is some really odd stuff with that, and for some of my other band ENDRAH lyrics too, like that record, The Culling we did was like,
The Culling,
wow, like the lyrics sound like it's so out of the whole COVID thing, like of just these things that had happened during that pandemic, and like, I don't know, I've always written those things as like, I've always written the lyrics as like the future is looking bleak. Not that I want it to be bleak, but it's looking bleak, right? And like, and so there's some stuff that's like that record that says, like The Culling, for example, is like 2013-ish or 2011, 12, 13 range, and that's like 10 years ago. And like, and As Old Sour's older than that. That's like, I think we wrote that in 2007, 2008. So like, like 15 years later, it's starting to come true, a lot of this shit, like, and so that's a little bit disturbing in a way, and I don't know. I'm not sure how deep it goes. I don't know. I don't know how deep it goes, but it's very interesting.
Yeah. I just want you to know, man, that song is just one of the most amazing songs to me. I love that song. I could not wait to hear that song. You guys perform that song every single night.
We still play it, still in the set.
It's a great listen. Greet them and weep. Anyway, man, we can go on and talk about some great songs that you guys have. So, and also Changing of the Guard. That I appreciate it.
Wonderful song we do with you, which is another strange song where the lyrics fit each administration. Like it's like both sided. It fits in each year, each time. Like it's timeless, which is not that we meant it to be, but it actually meant to be for the moment. What was happening at the moment, but yet it became timeless because it keeps happening. This stuff keeps happening, and it's strange. It's very strange. It's heavy.
Heavy. Well, I'm going to say this. You educated me because I didn't know that you were already with ENDRAH, before, I met you. I didn't know you were already doing this stuff with ENDRAH. I thought that was afterwards. So, okay, let's talk about the hard-hitting ENDRAH and how you became the front man for ENDRAH.
Yeah, so Nate broke his neck. Vengeance really trying to kick ass, but things were getting a little slow because he's healing. We got a fill-in dude. I'm going to college. Everyone's kind of like finding their way in the world of young adults, and things were going a little bit slower than I was really, really, really wanting to go. Very single. I had low bills, and I could leave on the snap of the fingers. And every day I was reading blabbermouth.net, and I was also starting my Distill Entertainment business at that time too. And so I eventually, I think it was January 2005. I was living in Napa, a little rented room, and some buddies, and I look at the blabbermouth, and it's Billy Graziday of Biohazard fame is seeking his side project. ENDRAH is seeking a new vocalist, something along the lines of that. And they had an audition kind of thing set up. So I was like, whoa, like, 'cause I love Biohazard. And I was like, I gotta fucking check this out. This is cool. And I thought maybe this could be an opportunity, and so I listened to they had like a couple snippets like online, like 30 seconds or a minute or something of each of their 5 demo songs. And it was really heavy, dude. It was like, didn't sound like Biohazard. It was like fucking really intense, like a smash up of thrash and hardcore punk mixed with death metal. Like it was just, and really aggressive,
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, fuck, I could do this, like. I thought about it, and I talked to the dudes from Vengeance, and I was like, I'm thinking about trying out this band because I think if I got in it, it could really lead for us to do all kinds of shit, know? And so everyone kind of I felt like I had the blessing of the band to do that in audition. And so I told them I want to try out, and I sent them a video of that Death Angel show I was telling you about.
Got you.
At the time, I had a mohawk, dude, like during that show. Like, fucking, we were going crazy, dude. And so I sent that video, so they liked it. I sent them a photo of me, like, trying to look tough or whatever, like, and they said, okay, you're invited to do this audition. And the first step is we're going to send you a song with no lyrics and no vocals on it, just an instrumental song. We want you to write lyrics and send it back to us recorded.
Yeah.
And so they said tomorrow, because Brazil's ahead like 4 to 6 hours time. So they told me tomorrow at 5:30 my time, the drummer will meet me, and I could download the song off of like if I can instant messenger or whatever. Right. And so because they're in Brazil and the shit's all slow and fucked up, And so I wake up at 5 a.m, which is not my time, but I'm ready, dude. It's an opportunity, right? And I get the track from the dude. He signs off, and it's this song, right? So I start listening to the song. I start writing. I figured out the song map, kind of like verse, chorus, whatever. Your songs are really fucking complex and like they don't follow a very standard formula. So like it took me a while to learn the song, and then I started writing lyrics for what would become my first song with ENDRAH. And that afternoon, I called my buddy Dan in the studio who recorded As Little Stowers, the same producer, and he lived about 45 minutes away at the studio. And I said, dude, like, what are you doing today or tonight? And he's, blah, blah, this and that. I said, dude, I have to get in, dude. Like, I gotta fucking get in and track this song. I have to get in today, dude. You gotta get me in, please, dude. All right, bro, come in at fucking 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We'll bust it out. So I jam up there, and I record the song, and then I send it back to those guys, like mixed and mastered that same day.
Wow.
And that's how I pulled ahead of everyone else, because they were like, fuck, this guy works hella hard. This guy's for real. His nickname's Relentless. He just did like it's super fast, and like, and they wanted to, for some of the strong English speaking skills. I'm American, so of course I have that part, because the previous guy was Brazilian and his English was broken. And those were the main things that pulled me ahead. And then the bass player really like took a liking to me. And he fought for me to kind of get to that next step. And eventually I was down to like the last 3 guys. And then they flew me to New York City and had me record with Billy in the Biohazard studio and
Wow.
in Brooklyn. And like,
Yeah, I
that
didn't know
was,
all that. Yeah.
I was super nervous, dude. Like, and I showed up and I didn't even know what was going to happen. They wouldn't really tell me what was going to happen. And I got in there and, Biohazard's in the studio and they're recording like a record and like they let me do backups with them, like gang vocals on one of the songs.
Yeah.
On the song "Set Me Free" by Biohazard, I'm one of the gang vocal guys. Super cool dude, and like just crazy. I mean, it was crazy to look at these. I mean, I grew up, watching them MTV, so it was to be next to them with headphones together singing. It was fucking pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
Pretty cool moment. And I'm trying to keep it cool and not be super fanboy, but I'm also 24 fucking years old. So it's pretty exciting. So the Biohazard guys finish their session and they leave and Billy turns to me. He goes, so I want to work on a song with you right now. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, you got some lyrics, like, right? I'm like, yeah, of course I got some lyrics. So I got to go take a piss. So I'm going to be back in a minute. So like, I go take a piss, dude. I start sketching whatever comes to my head, dude. And I wrote this song in like 5 minutes called Hammer Tested.
Yeah.
And you can find it on the internet if you're a pirate, if you really go look, but it never was released. But it's a really cool ENDRAH song that sounds a lot more like Biohazard than any of the rest of the catalog.
Right.
And I sing that with him and it never got released again, but that was like a demo. That was my second demo I did with him.
Yeah.
And he really liked that. Like, and I just came out and the song was pretty straightforward. And I was able to just kind of go right over it.
Right.
Within about an hour, I tracked it and he did a little bit of backups on it, which was really special too. And then, he let me go and I flew home and they fucking called me a couple days later and told me they offered me the job.
Fucking awesome, man. I didn't know none of that, man.
Yeah. And they said like, we'll fly you to Brazil and meet everybody for 2 weeks. So I flew to Brazil, spent 2 weeks, fucking paradise at the time for me, just so exotic, so foreign. Everything was new, exciting. The language was new, the culture was new, the food's new.
Yeah.
But now I've been there so long, like there's some of those things are different, but it was really fucking exciting, super fun, dude. I had a great time. I didn't even want to go home, and I came back again in August of that year, 2006. So I kept coming back for a few times. So I was in the band for a while. I was in the band for probably 3 years before I met you.
Wow.
And we had a record out as well, and stuff too in Europe and everything else. And that's why we got the record label knew more for something, and they offered us a tour. The band passed it. I jumped in kind of, and said, hey, I got a band. And I was at the right place at the right time. And the guy offered the tour. And then we were able to get ahead of 10 side because we had a little more experience,
Right.
And that was cool too, not being the opening band, on our first tour too.
Yeah.
So, of Europe, so that was it. And that was kind of the whole thing.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for that, man. Listen, definitely. Well, I didn't know. I really didn't know that. And ENDRAH, my brothers, thank you very much. That allowed me to have my brother here, born on the same day. Now I'm much older.
Yeah, we do share a birthday.
We do share a birthday, man. But man, oh man, hey, listen, that's a great story. I love that.